You've been studying English throughout your entire life but still can't understand native speakers? Well, I can relate to that. Before coming to the US, I had been learning English for almost 20 years of my life, since I was in kindergarten. On top of that, I had been tutoring English for 6 years. So I thought my language level was perfect and I would never face any difficulties, any problems when I come to the US. Unfortunately, it wasn't true. Back then, I didn't realize how much slang, phrasal verbs, idioms Americans use in their everyday lives. Of course, I would watch a bunch of YouTube videos from American video bloggers, movies and TV shows in the original. Well, my choice wasn't the best. I would mostly pick old TV shows such as Desperate Housewives or Sex and the City, and the language there is quite outdated, so I wouldn't recommend watching them, even though these are great TV shows. But the expressions and words that are used there are a little old, so this wasn't the best listening practice, I'd say. So yeah, I'd suggest watching modern TV and reality shows. For instance, the one that I watched recently was called Squid Game. It's a reality show based on the real Korean TV show. And the participants there come from different English-speaking countries such as the UK, the US, and Australia. And you can hear the variety of accents and learn a bunch of new expressions and idioms. And it's quite an enthralling show as well, so strongly recommended. Now back to my story. A year and a half ago, I came to America to get my master's degree in a local university. In order to do that, I had to take a few English exams, write several motivation letters or statements of purpose, undergo a few interviews in English, yada yada yada, etc. So I did everything quite well since I'm here now and I'm not paying for my studies. My tuition is fully covered by the university since I'm also working as a Russian teacher here. And this all wouldn't be possible without English, right? So my language level was quite high back then, and I was pretty confident before coming to the US. But when I just arrived here and started talking to Bryce is my roommate, and he's basically one of the first people that I met here in the US. Yes, this is another whole story that is worth recording a separate video. But when I started talking to Bryce, I wouldn't understand half of the things he was saying. Well, maybe not half, but at least 30%. Because he had a strong Midwestern accent. Yeah, since we live in the Midwest, it's a region in the US. He used a lot of slang, a lot of idioms, and yeah, he spoke a local dialect. And I struggled so much. I had such a hard time understanding him in the beginning. Sometimes I would just nod. Like, he would ask me a question, and I'm like, But over time, living in the US, talking to native speakers, immersing myself fully in the culture, yeah, it's another thing. Before coming here, I realized that I wanted to immerse myself in the culture entirely. So I started looking for American roommates to share my apartment with. So this is how I found Bryce. Yes, I promised not to tell you this story. Bryce is my husband, if you don't know this. We got married a few months ago. So this is how I found him. And I knew that I wanted to make the most out of my journey in the US. And I want to master my English skills. I want to learn more about the culture. And this is why I purposefully chose American roommates. And this was the best decision in my life because I learned the language. I mean, I honed my language skills pretty fast, and now I know so many words and expressions. I literally learn them every day. I write them down, I put them on Quizlet and practice them regularly. Quizlet didn't sponsor me, just so you know, but I still recommend that app. It's awesome. It's another good tip for you. Just write new words down and try to practice them. Not only memorize them, but also incorporate them in your everyday speech when you talk to your teachers, your friends, in case you have some native speakers around. If not, just practice English with the people that also study it and also want to improve their speaking. Let me tell you a few stories. When I was learning how to drive, Bryce was my coach. He was teaching me to do this, and we were on an acceleration ramp. This is a ramp where you have to speed up, where you have to go faster and faster since you're about to enter a highway. And he told me, Nastya, press down the gas, press down the gas. And I'm like, does he mean that I have to drive slower? Since down means to decrease something, right? To slow down, I thought. Or does he mean a physical motion where you have to physically press down the gas, you know, the pedal? Of course, I did the first thing and I just slowed down, whereas I had to speed up, right? Bryce was so angry with me. He was so furious because he didn't know that there was a misunderstanding, right? So I had to explain to him that I was just confused. I didn't do it on purpose. Yeah, this was a quite dangerous moment, I would say. But luckily there was no car behind us and we survived. Another story is when Bryce's sister was frying bacon. It's a very popular dish here, very popular meal to have eggs with bacon in the morning. And I decided to show off, to demonstrate my perfect English skills, and told her, this is Brooke. Brooke is her name, by the way. This is Brooke who brings home the bacon. Yeah, this is a very popular American idiom, even though it's a little old and no one uses it anymore. But literally it means that this is Brooke who is the breadwinner in the family, who provides for the family, right? Who earns the money for the family. What she told me was, you can say that again. And I repeated what I said because I thought that she didn't hear me well and she just asked me to repeat the phrase, which I did. And then she started laughing since the phrase, you can say that again, in English means I agree or you're absolutely right. But it was such a funny moment. We have a video about it, by the way, but in that video it's not Brooke who's frying the bacon, but Bryce's father, Justin. Yeah, I've had so many goofy, so many funny situations like that, and at some point I decided to start recording videos about them. So most of my videos, most of my shorts here on YouTube are actually based on true stories, on different funny situations that I encounter in my everyday life here in America. So yeah, watch my videos, the videos of other bloggers that you're interested in. Of course, you don't just have to watch educational videos. You can watch any videos on any topics that you're curious about. Let your goal be not just language learning, but understanding the content of the video. And over time, you won't even notice that you're watching it in English, because English and any other language is, first of all, the means of communication. So your goal is to understand what is said and to be able to express yourself and transfer your message to others. My main message for you today is to enjoy the journey, not the destination. Of course, it's important to set particular goals, like for instance, I want to become fluent or I want to get to a certain level in English. But it's also essential to get a kick out of it. It's another great expression, by the way, which means to enjoy it. So yeah, I strongly encourage you to learn the language with fun, to not just cram, not just read and do grammar and vocabulary exercises in your boring textbooks, but also watch various videos, movies, and everything you do in your native language, but in English. It's as clear as a day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was useful to you. Please hit the like button if it's so. Leave a comment with your main takeaway from this video, your most insightful thing. And yeah, subscribe to this channel for more videos. I wish you a wonderful English language journey. See you in the next video. Bye bye.